Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where we will be discussing the difference between a surface water treatment process and a groundwater treatment process. I am Patrick.
And I'm Hayden.
Let's begin. Here's our introduction where we will be discussing what we will be covering in today's video. We will start with the surface water treatment process, then the groundwater treatment process, give a quick compare and contrast, a brief conclusion, and then the references for the information used in this video. What is surface water treatment? Surface water treatment is an extensive process that helps make water from surface water bodies to safe drinking water. These surface water bodies can include, but are not limited to, rivers, lakes, and reservoirs. It is important and a requirement that the water from the surface water treatment is potable, which means that the water is safe for consumption. However, having the treated water being palatable would be the best result, as that allows consumers to drink the water safely while also being pleasing in terms of taste, color, and odor. What is the process? Treating surface water is a multi-step process that collects water from an intake structure that then allows water to travel through a system of sedimentation, flocculation, clarifying, filtration, disinfection, and distribution. Here's a quick diagram to visualize the process. How does it work? Water is collected from a surface water body using a pumping or grading system. The water is then discharged into the sedimentation basin. Once in the sedimentation basin, heavy solids are then settled and removed. A coagulant, a chemical compound, a common coagulant is alum, is then added to help remove the suspended solids. The water then moves to the flocculation basin, where it mixes the water to help form large aggregates of particles. Water then moves into a clarifier to where it removes the suspended solids and separates them into sludge. A filtration process then begins as the water flows through a system of filters to remove dissolved particles, germs, and bacteria. The water is then disinfected by adding chemicals such as chlorine to help kill the remaining germs and bacteria. Finally, the potable water is then stored in a clear well until it's distributed later. Here we have an example of a local surface water treatment plant known as Frank C. Emerson Jr. Water Treatment Plant, located here in Macon, Georgia. Now I will give it off to Hayden to discuss the groundwater treatment plant process.
So first off, groundwater is stored in aquifers underneath the ground, hence the name. So it's exposed to more minerals such as calcium and magnesium. This increases its hardness. And so in order to lower it back to acceptable limits and for more palatable water, the water treatment needs to take extra care to remove the water hardness. And this matters because 38% of drinking water in the US is pulled from the ground. In 2022, a study found that about 18 million people could be affected by the three most common toxic substances found in groundwater. So it's important that we treat it out. Thank you to Dr. Bauer's lovely PowerPoint presentation for this great little overview of the groundwater treatment process. Here are the steps. You have to pump water from the deep well up to the surface, where it will flow into the aeration basin. Adding the dissolved oxygen to the water helps remove carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. It'll then go into a clarifier where your coagulant alum will be added to create flocks that will settle out as sludge. The rest of the water will flow into a softening unit, which is to directly remove the hardness of the water, such as soda ash or lime. It'll flow into a second clarifier. And the reason that there are two clarifiers is because this acts as two different filtration units. The last two steps, disinfection and clear well, are the exact same as surface water treatment. Now for the compare and contrast section. Surface water is much easier to access, but it does leave it more prone for pollution, such as runoff and fertilizers. Groundwater has multiple clarifiers, as previously mentioned, but it doesn't need a sedimentation basin since there's less suspended solids typically found in it other than soil. So for similarities, both are used as sources of drinking water. Both are treated with disinfectants to make it palatable and kill off the bacteria. And fun fact, both start as precipitation in the water cycle. In conclusion, accessing clean water is important, especially since we depend on it to survive and are surrounded by it every day. The fewer contaminants, the fewer contaminants that humans are exposed to, the healthier we can live. Hence, surface water treatment and groundwater treatment. Here are the resources that we used for this presentation. Thank you for watching our video.